And welcome back, everyone. This is time for analysis. Temp and I are joined by Razor, and now we're going to break down the video and give our thoughts, more extended thoughts than what we did in the reaction video. First up, Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy. I like Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy's good. Poison Ivy's
Yep,
is
yep.
good.
Poison Ivy?
Good.
Poison Ivy.
Good. I like the poison. Is that a spider?
Pamela Isley.
I think it's a
Might
spider.
be a spider.
It's a spider.
Yeah,
Poison Ivy's got it in on me. Damn it. No, that's good. Then we got Bane, we got Brainiac, we got Robin. Who am I missing?
Darkseid.
Darkseid. Yep. Okay, so let's break that down one by one. First of all, well, I guess we should just kind of cover the overall trailer. Are we getting Batman as a bad guy?
I don't think he's a bad guy. I think they're just trying to push the thing because the idea is like, well, he's been working with criminals like Harley
Yeah.
while he was trying to shut down Superman, and then it's like their methods are shady and shit, and he was kind of like looking the other way, and that's like
Gotcha.
a moral gray area
Yeah.
sort of thing, I guess.
So maybe they're just kind
But my question is like, is that still going on? Like after they've stopped Superman, Harley's still like running around being like an anti-hero on Batman's side, or is that like just references to like? And I guess this is sort of a thing about the whole trailer because we see Robin, and I'm pretty damn sure that's Damian.
yeah.
And so
That's
it's
what
like,
I'm
is
thinking.
is a bunch of this game going to be flashbacks to before the first one? Because I don't know. It's just because they revisit a whole bunch of stuff that we already know. Like we see Superman put his hand through the Joker again.
Yeah. They are kind of calling back. I'm hoping that's just for this trailer's sake, like kind of just set the ground rather than,
Yeah, but if
in
but
the
if
game
Damian has
itself
gone,
we're just revisiting everything. That would suck.
yeah, but if Damian has gone back to the Robin identity, like he's not Nightwing anymore, then it's just a little weird. Like, is it going to be a flashback thing? Or is there going to be a present day reason for that?
Oh man. Can't believe we got Poison Ivy.
I can. That's the one I wanted. Like everybody was
Well,
like,
I
no,
know
it's
she was on my
not.
list too. Like it's one thing to like see her requested a lot. That doesn't necessarily mean she's a guarantee to the game.
I mean, it is neither realm, and they never fucking listen. So.
They are this time though. We got to give them
But
credit
but I
this
am
time.
I am happy about that because it's like I know that Swamp Thing has a lot of fans and I wouldn't have said no to him, but if you give me a power set and there's a choice between male and female, I'm pretty much always going to want the one that's female.
in this case, I agree. Not always, but in this case specifically, I do agree. I prefer Ivy over Swamp Thing.
Like I think the only example I can think of where I'd go the other way is if they were like, well, you can have Sub-Zero or Frost, not both. I like, well, then give me Sub-Zero, but I'd take Ivy over Swamp Thing.
Even I can't think of a counterexample. She-Hulk, I'd rather have over regular Hulk. Jenner, I don't know. I mean, it's hard. I can't even really think of a lot of instances, but Poison Ivy's a. I never was really concerned. I knew either her or Swamp Thing were going to be in, and it was a win-win.
If I've
Bane,
learned one thing
yeah.
from MK9, MKX, and Injustice, nobody nobody is for sure gonna be in between people.
Yes, agreed.
You can't say for sure anymore unless
No.
you're talking about Scorpion Sub-Zero.
Everything is a surprise unless it's like one of the untouchables as we've deemed them in prior, like for our wish list. But yeah, Ivy was on multiple wish lists of ours. I've seen her requested, but to me, she was a character that had good chances, but she was by no means a guarantee. To see her actually confirmed up front like this, that I think is phenomenal. That's exciting.
Well,
I'm excited now for
yeah,
this.
yeah.
I have a
There's
character
another
that I
thing.
really am excited about now.
Yeah, there is another thing regarding Ivy versus Swamp Thing, and it's we also learned from this trailer that one of the DLCs is costumes that are characters. So, for example, there'll be an alternate costume for the Flash that's Professor Zoom.
Okay.
There'll be one for Green Lantern that's Jon Stewart,
Okay.
and there'll be one for Supergirl that's Power Girl, and they'll have their own voice acting, but they'll be basically costumes.
Was it?
So that raises the question of how many other characters will that be an option for? Like, could Swamp Thing actually be an alternate for Ivy? would that work?
That would be
How
weird.
uniquely female will her animations be?
I don't think that would. I don't think that would work.
Extremely uniquely female, because that'd be hilarious. They transfer that over to Swamp Thing.
I don't think that would work.
Because we're pretty sure we're getting Captain Cold. Does that mean that he'll have a Mr. Freeze alternate?
But that works. But that
will Catwoman have a Cheetah alternate?
But that works.
Cheetah doesn't use a whip.
I'm just saying there's a stark difference between Poison Ivy and Swamp Thing, and it's not just stature. It's mannerisms. And you can share mannerisms from Catwoman to Cheetah. You can share mannerisms from Supergirl to Power Girl. You can't do Poison Ivy and Swamp Thing.
What if they do like an evil Ryu thing, where it's not technically a new character, but some of the properties and hitboxes are different, with maybe one additional new move? How would you feel about that?
I mean, like a Shadow Jago, that sort of thing. Evil Ryu,
Shadow Jago now, yes. Not old Shadow Jago, but current Shadow Jago, yes.
That would be like a DLC, I would imagine. And I don't know if I'd want that to be one of the 9, because we already know half of what the 9 are. Like, we know Darkseid's a pre-order. We're pretty sure from the polls that we're getting Sub-Zero, Spawn, and somebody from Watchmen. Yeah, I'm sure one of them is Red Hood.
Yeah. Interesting. I will say this, because unfortunately I can't hang out too long, but I've always said I think Spectre is a good chance. I will admit now that given the atmosphere the game is presenting, it doesn't feel very conducive to Spectre. It doesn't look like Spectre's going to be quite a fit for this kind of atmosphere. I still think he should go. I mean, it does fit him.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he would be fine, but I don't think they're going for that.
The thing about the Spectre is he could solve the problem all by himself in a single chapter. Story-wise.
Well, you could write in a reason for him not to. Maybe he's the narrator, perhaps.
Well, there is an excuse from the comics that the Spectre was active as a member of the Justice Society during World War II, but he couldn't interfere with the war because Hitler had the Spear of Destiny. And that that would have let him control the Spectre. The Spectre's like, I'm going to stay the fuck out of Europe right now. That's actual canon,
good
man.
shit.
Alright, so what are people's thoughts on Brainiac?
I think I actually really like Brainiac. Like, I love the Superman Rogues Gallery, and I think they don't get a fair shake at all. Like, I'm really into Brainiac, Metallo, and Parasite, so anytime you get to see one of those guys in some kind of mainstream, like, release, I'm excited for it, because it means they're getting some fucking attention, because, like, with the movies, it's always Luthor and Zod, Luthor and Zod, Luthor and Zod. It's never the fucking guys who have actual goddamn powers.
So wait.
And aren't from Krypton, you know?
Okay, so just rewatching the video. We have Standard Edition, Digital Deluxe Edition, and Ultimate Edition. Did they detail what those are? Ultimate
Standard is just the game. Digital. What was the second one?
Digital Deluxe.
Digital Deluxe just gets you 3 DLC characters.
Okay.
And the Power Girl skin, I think. And then the Ultimate Edition gets you everything. So it's like a Season 1 pass and a Season 1 and 2 pass.
What's the price on that going to be?
Well, the
$99 for the
90, I believe. So
Holy
game
crap.
for 60, DLC for 30.
Okay, so all the DLC though, 9 characters for $30.
Yeah, well, 9 characters and 3 skins that are characters. So
what does that break down to? Let me get the calculator out.
It's about $4.44 per character.
30 divided
It's
by
not very
9.
good, honestly.
It is.
No, that's not bad. $3.33 per character.
I think it's actually less per character than the season
Previous,
pass
yeah.
for MKX.
Yeah, it's
Hold on.
It's
So
less.
it's $100 for 9 characters, right?
You said 90, I thought.
No, 99.
99. Okay, so
Yeah.
$40 for.
So it is actually about the same.
It's
then.
$4.44. So it's actually. Because what was it prior? $20 or 15? No, it was $20 for 4 characters.
Yeah, it was.
So it's slightly
$20
cheaper.
For 5 if you count Goro.
So it's slightly cheaper this time, but it's a lot up front.
It's roughly the same. Because if you think about it, 4 characters and then another 4 and Goro was 9. So that's like 9 characters. But then you get that Jon Stewart Power Girl and what was the Zoom, and those are almost like characters. I mean, I would consider them characters, even though they have the same moves. They're just costumes. But
yeah, I think Jon Stewart, that kind of sucks.
Where they have their own personality and stuff like that. That's sort of.
I don't like that Jon Stewart's once again just like a skin. Didn't they do that last time?
Yeah, they did that last time. And I mean, for Green Lantern, it does hurt a little more because each lantern is supposed to make their own constructs.
Yeah.
Like so, make all kinds of jet-shaped stuff, so...
But, I mean, it's cool that he's in. Don't get me wrong. I like Jon Stewart as a character. It kind of sucks that it's like, hey, you remember last time how he was just like a add-on skin? Yeah, I mean, he's the same this time.
They could reskin his moves. They did that for Sector and Cyrax back in 9, where, like, the teleports looked different and stuff.
Sure. All right, well, let's keep moving along. What other characters haven't we discussed?
Bane.
Next, okay, go ahead.
I'm taking off here in a second, but I'm actually really excited for Bane. And I thought he had a decent chance. I feel like someone was telling me there was no way he was going to be in, and I can't remember who that was. I
don't think I said there was no way. I remember being skeptical about Bane because I felt like the only reason he was in the first one was because it came out so close to Dark Knight Rises.
Yes.
I thought out of all the Batman-related villains, he was the least likely to return.
The thing is, like, if you look at the grapplers who were in the first one, I think he's the best of those. Like, I would rather have him over Grundy.
I'd rather have him over, I'd say, over half the cast. He's actually one of my favorite returnees so far, just because he played so interestingly in the last game. I really thought that was an interesting way to approach a grappler. It was a lot of fun. A lot of like mind games and resource using. Yeah, what's up? Yeah.
I was just gonna say we also don't know how many characters are actually going to be in the game, so it's possible that now that we're dealing with a larger roster,
actually,
we might.
We know the website recently updated, and it looks like there's 31 slots.
Okay. I hope that's pre-DLC.
40 characters, though. It's got to be pre-DLC. That's crazy.
22 characters, guys. 22.
With a legacy gameplay? Fuck that. No, that's 40 characters, and that's awesome. I mean, assuming that's accurate, but we'll check it out, of course.
I was expecting around 28 to 30 off the get-go. So, yeah, if we get 31 with the legacy gameplay, as you said, I think that's reasonable. I think that's obtainable.
Okay, well, I am actually out. I'm sorry I could not stay longer, but we will be Nethercasting soon, so I look forward to discussing more of this.
Yeah, Razor, there wasn't much else to go over, but let's hit on... Okay, so what do you think Brainiac's role is going to be on the game? Because he kind of shows up at the end after he's been narrating.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to be the one pulling the strings and making everybody fight still, or what do you think?
The trailer certainly seems to give him an end boss vibe, which I would definitely be for, because I don't want it to just be fucking Superman again.
Yeah, no, that would be lame. I'm not against Batman being portrayed as a bad guy. I just don't want it to be where he's like the main boss. I don't like the idea of going from Superman as the main boss to Batman as the main. Like that would be, I don't know. That just feels like ground we've already covered in making one of our big heroes the main bad guy. I think this time we actually need like a villainous figure to fill that role.
Yeah, I think in terms of how they're painting Batman, I just think they're trying to give more shades of gray to it. I don't think he's going to be like a bad guy at all.
Just because you're a bad guy doesn't mean you're a bad guy.
It's just part of making the Injustice world more of a dark
neutral
place.
Yeah, just kind
where
of...
it's like even the good guy side is morally compromised.
Exactly. So it's less good versus evil and more, like you said, shades of gray.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
I get the impression that with an actual villain like Brainiac as the end boss, they'll come up with an excuse for Superman to join forces with Batman by the end of the game.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if they don't. Superman's like a sub-boss just helping him out. But yeah, no, I agree. I think we'll still see heroes working with villains. So I would be surprised if we don't see some superheroes side with Brainiac's side. Unless they just make Brainiac purely all out on his own somehow be able to face all these people.
And like another thing we know from the website having updated is that the characters who were already known to us before this trailer all
Yeah.
have bios now.
Okay.
And Gorilla Grodd specifically says that he's like running an actual supervillain team. So it's not going to be like the bad guys are working for the insurgency where like they were in the first game. There will be actual villains being villains in this one.
Okay. Interesting. Which makes sense, yeah, for Grodd. But yeah, I'm happy to see Brainiac too. Or I should say as well. And obviously we got Darkseid in there, which is not surprising to anybody. He looks good. But yeah, Brainiac, for me, definitely, I'm happy to see him. If he's the big bad, I think that's a cool way to take it.
Yeah.
What else haven't we covered? I mean, we covered Ivy, and that we all wanted her, pretty much. We got Bane
Ivy,
returning.
Bane, unless there's more you want to say about Damian as Robin.
I mean, him being Robin, if it is Damian, doesn't really...
Well, the trailer specifically said offspring.
Okay, so then yeah, that would make sense.
I'm pretty sure it's also like there's a screenshot out of like I guess it's from gameplay and it shows Robin holding a sword and only Damian uses swords.
Right.
So.
Okay. So if that's the case, I think it's cool. I don't necessarily think it's a guarantee that we won't get Nightwing. But I mean, it's hard to tell.
One of the things I'm wondering about, like the characters who died in the story or were revealed to be dead in the story were like Joker, Green Arrow, Nightwing, and Shazam and Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, I definitely see the Joker coming back. I'm sure they'll find an excuse.
So wait, who did they reveal? They revealed who all died in the story, you said?
Well, that was in Injustice 1. Those are the characters who either died or were dead but were on the roster anyway because it was two universes.
Okay.
You know, Green Arrow and Nightwing died during that 5-year gap while Superman was running the world.
Okay.
And so I'm wondering how many of those are not coming back because they're dead. Like, I could see Brainiac being a replacement for Lex in terms of, like, moveset. Not like that he's going to rip him off, but he'll probably be similar in role. And I'm sure, like, the fact that Robin's in the game could mean that if Nightwing is in, it won't be until his DLC.
Or as a skin or something. Yeah, I don't...
I'm not sure I see Shazam coming back.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm kind of... With the roster being a little bit bigger, I'm actually curious how many characters actually make it back from the first one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this was a pretty decent little showing. I definitely didn't expect 5 characters to be revealed. I was expecting Darkseid and maybe 1-2 others.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting any reveals either, but... I mean, it's been a long time, so I'm glad they gave us something.
Yeah, they definitely gave us something to chew on for, the next couple weeks until they start unveiling some more stuff. I'm excited, really excited to see Ivy in gameplay. As I said prior, a little bit early, like when we first started the video, now I actually have a character in the game that I could see myself using. Until I see her gameplay or get my hands on her gameplay, I wouldn't really be able to say for sure. But so far, in terms of all the characters that have made the roster thus far, she's the only one that's actually in my group of favorite characters. Well, I mean, obviously discounting Batman, but I don't really want to play Batman. Yeah. I want to play somebody a little bit more, different and exotic, so to speak. So I'm excited for what Ivy can do. She made my wish list. I think she was on yours as well, you said?
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's been a while since we put those things out.
She might have been honorable mention. I can't remember what my list was anymore, but...
I know, we did that almost a year ago. Can you believe that? That's crazy. But yeah, no, I definitely... I'm excited. I'm excited for her. So even if Fate doesn't make it or Katana doesn't make it, I at least have a character now. I was kind of excited for Harley and Batman, of course, but... Yeah, obviously
to be fair, Fate is still on that T-shirt. I'm sure he's in the game.
No, and I'm not doubting that he's in the game. I'm not going to treat it as confirmed or concrete till I actually see him in the game. I'm still pulling for Katana. Really, like in terms of gameplay standards, I think she fits most like what I want for a character gameplay wise, or at least I envision her to be. Ivy, I'm on the fence about because even though I'm really glad she made it, and I think playing her would be a lot of fun because I imagine her having a lot of fun specials, I don't know how her gameplay would be represented. Would she be quick? Would she be, medium speed? How is she going to use her specials? What type of character is she going to be? Is she going to be, I would imagine, some type of zoning? I don't know, but
Yeah, I wonder if she'll be like a long distance grappler with her vines, sort of like Conra in Killer Instinct.
I'm seeing like a mix of. I mean, I see her pulling like vines out of the ground to grab onto her opponent's feet for maybe like a free hit. I'm seeing maybe some long range kind of like whipping, kind of like a whipping with her vines. I mean, whipping like how Sindel uses her hair.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
I think in terms of like a Mortal Kombat character, I actually expect her to play sort of like Devora.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. And I enjoyed
Like
Devora's
Devora
gameplay.
had moves where she'd like make traps sprout out of the ground, or like she'd scorch you in the face with a bug. I could see Ivy doing that with a flower or something, like all in your face.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm definitely excited for her. Out of everybody revealed in the trailer, she's definitely got me the most hype. I'd say second is Brainiac, just for the fact that he's he's looking to be the main boss. But I like the trailer. I'm ready to see some gameplay of all these characters and see who else we got. I mean, how many does that make that so far that's been revealed?
I don't know.
12 or 13 or so?
Yeah, it's still less than half.
Because we have Batman, we have Superman, we have Wonder Woman, we have Supergirl, Harley, Deadshot,
Grodd
Atrocitus, Blue Beetle, Flash was revealed in the original trailer.
Yeah.
Cinematic thing. That's 9.
Technically, Green Lantern's now been revealed.
Okay, so that's 10. Who else are we? I feel like we might be missing somebody. Maybe not. Supergirl. I don't think I said Supergirl.
Yeah, you said Supergirl.
Supergirl? Okay, well, then we're at 10 plus the 5 here, so that's 15. So yeah, that's almost half the roster if it is above 30. But yeah, no, I'm excited. So that's really cool. I'm looking forward to what we have next. I was excited all day for this, so it did not disappoint in terms of character reveals. Not at all. I got at least one character that I'm really on board with that I did not fully expect to be in the game. So that's cool. Anything else you want to wrap up on?
No, I mean, I'm not as excited as you. I'm definitely curious at this point.
Sure.
But I mean, to be fair, I wasn't the biggest fan of the first one. I still am not completely on board with the art style of the Injustice games, the costume designs and everything, but I mean, Brainiac has definitely piqued my interest.
Yeah. I'm kind of in a similar boat in the sense that I'm not looking forward to the gameplay as much as I'm just happy that I'm happy with the roster that we've been given. I'm excited that a lot of these characters that people have been asking for are characters that I didn't necessarily think had the best chances. I mean, a lot of them I figured had an okay chance, but I didn't expect them to actually make the roster, like your Poison Ivies or your Blue Beetles, your Grodd, Atrocitus, etc. I'm just happy to see him in the game, and thus far, that's what I'm really excited about. I'm excited for the character reveals more than the gameplay itself or the story thus far.
Yeah. I mean, that was my big concern is up to this point, I've been worried how much of this is just going to rehash the story we already know. Yeah. And the fact that we're getting new content like Brainiac is going to show up and stuff is going to happen that's not flashbacks to the fucking Lois died and Superman went evil again.
Right.
You know, I want to move on from that and see what happens next. So.
All right. Well, on that note, guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like and follow and all that fun stuff. Subscribe, whatever they say on the YouTubes. Follow. Either way. Hope you guys.
Click the buttons that make the numbers go up.
Hopefully for you, those that enjoy a little bit more discussion on these things. I mean, we didn't go really in depth with the trailer, but we did talk about some of the things that were in it, the aspects and the characters, of course. So if you're into that sort of thing, hopefully you enjoyed this little more in-depth discussion rather than just the quick reaction. If you want the reaction, go watch that. You got one from Django, you got one from me and Temp. So hopefully we'll get a lot more stuff coming down the pipeline now that we're in 2017 and we only have, 17th? And doesn't it come out on the 17th?
Something like
of May?
That.
So yeah, we're probably 4 months exactly away. So in that note, yeah, it's somewhere around there at least. yeah, we're in the 4 month zone, so I imagine a lot of stuff is going to be coming very quickly. So this is kind of the time where a lot of the MKX stuff started hitting the internet, and all the reveals started coming. It was right about the start of February, if I recall right, which is kind of in sync with the comic. Once that comic started coming out, then we started getting a ton of info. So on that note, yeah, take care, guys, and we'll see you at the next reveal.
Yep.
Yep.